here at Money 2020, and I'm joined by Bianca Lopes from Bioconnect. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Been a long time friend of the show, first time on the show. We feel like the beautiful thing has finally happened. You've managed to join us. So tell us about you, tell us about Bioconnect, tell us what you do.
Okay, so I'm one of the owners and I run product and marketing and business development for Bioconnect. I got a fancy new title, Chief Identity Officer, which apparently I'm not allowed to make it into CIO because otherwise they're going to think I'm...
People are going to confuse it with Innovation Officer.
Or Information Officer,
yeah,
that there's some in banks. So yeah, Bioconnect. We've been around for 8 years. I like to say in the most simplistic form that we build technology that builds the last mile between human and all this cool stuff that other people are building.
Right, okay.
By using biometrics.
Cool, so talk me through a use case. How does somebody come across Bioconnect? Who's the customer? What are they using it for?
Totally. So we span in a wide variety of use cases. So we really started the company by allowing you to get rid of these fobs and cards and keys that we all use to get into large buildings. And that was really born out of security. So a need for someone to know, did Simon walk into that building? Because if that building is a data center, maybe it really matters who's walking in and who's walking out. And instead of you using what we call your suspect identity, why don't you use yourself? So we use biometrics in order to allow the systems to know, is Simon walking in, Simon walking out? You see our technology in airports and those kind of things. And what we've progressed, where I'm very fortunate as my role, is to bring us into financial services. So a simple way of thinking about it is, you can use your voice. And we've heard a lot about, finally, some of the keynotes in Money 2020 talking about voice as a way of authentication.
Yes.
Why would you use a password to log in? Why do you need a credential that's actually not you? So a way that Bioconnect can be used is inside of a bank's app, as an example.
That's really interesting, because we did some FinTech Insider news a couple of weeks ago where somebody was talking about the fact that it's possible to hack certain types of biometrics if you're really, 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 really clever, and people never compare it to what was there before. They only say, it's...
Totally. They're like, oh, you can totally hack into the biometric, but no one's talking about the fact that 3 billion credentials were compromised last year.
Yeah. 3 billion credentials were compromised last year. That's one heck of a stat.
And there is a study done in the US that 10 million people, 10 million users of diverse online credentials, and how many common passwords. So out of the 10 million, 80% of those people were using the 10 same combinations of what a password is. So it's password backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, those kind of things. And people never compare to those hacks because that's just not newsworthy, I guess.
Yeah, well, if there's really terrible things happening with that all the time, then it's not new that that's happening. But there's a reporter that finds a way to hack something that's actually quite hard to hack, and then that makes news, and people get this distorted sense of what's secure and what's not secure, and they don't trust the new technology. So how do you help people trust that you're using their biometrics? Does that mean you're spying on them, or?
Not at all. So let's talk about that, because the main reason why people, I think that you're storing their face, their finger, or listening into their voice, or capturing all this stuff. It's actually because the industry started after 9/11. The US government poured a ton of money into the market and said, I need to figure it out who's boarding my planes and turning them into killing machines. So I'm going to actually store people's faces. The difference is today's technology, all the market leaders you see today, they're not storing your face, they're storing a template. So they're storing a mathematical representation of things that make you who you are, and that can be encrypted, just as secure as a token.
So it's not your actual face, it's a representation of it. It's not your fingerprint.
Correct. It's a mathematical represtation of that. So
if I saw that mathematical representation, I wouldn't be able to figure out that it's you, would I?
So that is the biggest thing. It's liveness, because biometrics is the last mile to the human. And unless I'm here, you shouldn't be able to represent me again. So unless you find that token, which is why it's so important that you talk about liveness detection or spoofing capability. If you just have something that looks like you and you can hack into that, then you can represent Simon again.